driving nuts. They are, and I can't believe I'm saying this. They're one of the most frustrating teams, in my opinion, to watch in all basketball. They have talent, obviously. I don't know where the hell the bench went this year. I thought going into the year, Cavs would have one of the deepest benches in the NBA. That is not going to fruition at all. They barely play any of their bench guys. LeVart's doing okay now, but he's a knucklehead. You never know what you're going to get out of him. He could put up 30 a night. He could put up 6 points a night. And so I see this team, to be honest with you, as flawed. I think they're very Mitchell Garland dependent, which I did not expect when the trade happened. I thought Evan Mobley was going to be the beneficiary, and
And
Mobley some
let's cut
nights
you off right there. Mobley has started to make some moves.
he started to make some
He's really
moves. So some
I
nights
think
he can
really
be
the
that
thing is you
dog.
need like we have these high expectations, but Mobley is only a second year player. Give it 2 more years, assuming
Okay.
that Mitchell's still here. You sign him to an extension. Dan Gilbert's willing to pay the piper. I think the biggest key to all of this, obviously, is getting Mobley to his 4th year. And that is when you're going to see him blossom into a bona fide star. And then the year after that, superstar. But when he is a bona fide star, that is when you're going to be the contender. This year, next year are going to be painful. They're going to be painful. You're going to exit either in the first, second round or second or like conference finals. But after that, that's when we're going to have fun. And that would be what, 23, 24, 24, 25. So basically 24, 25 is when we're going to have fun. That is a year that we will have some really, really nice fun.
Well, by that time, I hope they get a wink, because that's our biggest missing point. I mean,
That's 2 years from now. That would be the year that you would get a ring.
no,
So
a
this
wing,
year and next
not a
year,
ring, a wing. They need a
a
wing.
wing. Oh, I didn't hear the G at
I
the end of it.
Isaac
Those are hard
Okoro.
to come by. I mean, I think you have to
I'm
draft well.
sorry. I'm still not a believer in Okoro. He's too inconsistent for me. I wish that they would have dangled Okoro and Levert at the deadline and tried to do something. They obviously stand in their hands. Signed Danny
And they
Green to
still are
do
doing well
absolutely
enough,
nothing.
though, I think. I mean, this year, you still need to mesh some things together. I mean, the big thing is Mobley is going to be your future anchor. And when he's finally ready, 2 years from now, I think you're going to see. And you're like these frustrating days this year and next year, when we get to 2024, 2025 season, we're going to be singing Mobley's praises, being really just on top of the world with everything. I mean,
You
it's
know,
going to be awesome.
I have concerns about Bickerstaff as well.
That is the one thing I will agree with you on is
I
Bickerstaff. I love the guy. I think he's a solid coach. I think they're going to have to pull a Golden State and find their Steve Kerr.
I agree. I don't think he's a
As Mark
championship
Jackson, I was
coach.
surprised. Like, why do you fire him at the time? He was a good coach.
Yep.
And then you bring in Kerr, and all of a sudden, everything
Well,
just
it's like Toronto. You go from Dwayne Casey to Nick Nurse. It's like the Cavs a little bit going from David Blatt to Ty Lue. We have
But I
seen
would
it
just say more so
recently.
those aren't, I would say, the most comparable to what happened with Jackson and Kerr. You need to find your Kerr, not a
That's a
Nick
fair point.
Nurse, not a Ty Lue. You need to find your Steve Kerr. And no, it's not going to be Steve Kerr. I would be shocked if that happened. But you need to find your Steve Kerr coach one way or another, even if they're in the broadcast booth like he was. That is the
So
only way. Like, I think Bickerstaff has this year, next year to try and prove everyone wrong. But I think eventually, even if he does get the results, he is going to be gone by that 24-25 season, because that is going to be your most critical and probably your most open window for a title is that single year.
okay, so I'm gonna condense the question like this. East, I think it comes down to Milwaukee and Boston. I think if Milwaukee's healthy, they're the best team. West, I have no idea. Don't know if Phoenix can stay healthy. The Clippers, you know my thoughts on the guy that they acquired post trade deadline number 0, Russell Westbrook. I have already disqualified them from being even near title contention because that guy is on their team. The Lakers, I have no idea. They could be a 6 seed, they could be a freaking 13 seed, depending on what LeBron does when he gets back. Sacramento doesn't play any defense, and they're really young. Denver, outside of Jokic, I don't really trust anybody. They got to prove that they can win to me in the postseason. So I look at it and I'm like, to me, if Phoenix stays healthy, they're probably the favorite. And I'm sorry, I know they can't win on the road, and I know they got personal problems, but I'm still counting out Golden State to make another run at this thing.
Oh, I mean, I don't know either. I mean, just looking at things, I mean, Minnesota is not there. Dallas kind of fell off a little bit.
Dallas, I don't believe in them at all.
Yeah.
Kyrie and Luka, I don't
Golden
believe
State,
in.
I think, is just too banged up to like. I think their final run kind of just came and went, and I think that was it for them. They all got healthy for a year, and then this year it's just I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to get back to that. Because
Memphis,
they're all in their
obviously,
mid-30s at this point.
yeah, Memphis with the
Memphis is
John
the team
Morant
that I wonder
situation, who
about.
knows?
Like John Morant, I think is back now, if I read right.
He is.
Like
Yep, he
it's
came
going to
back
come
last
down
night.
to three teams. It's going to be Denver, Memphis, and Phoenix, in my opinion.
Okay,
And we'll see
interesting.
who gets it. But I mean,
I
I think
I
I've told this
think
story
I
to you
think
before. But
every
when I was
team in the West has a question mark.
here's the moment I knew John Morant was going to be a superstar was when I was at we were still at Basketball Radio. It was still the year of 2019 in December. Morant and the Grizzlies rookie year come in. I see him float in the air like people said they saw Jordan float, and he missed the dunk on Love, and it just goes straight up into the air. That is the moment I knew Morant was going to be a star. I mean, that is. I still think he could take them. Like, if there's a person who I think could be not Jordan necessarily, but just kind of the kind of type of player he was. So I know Jordan was more of a shooting guard, Morant, I guess, more of a point guard, but Morant has that kind of ability to do that. I mean, he could will them to a finals, and who knows how they could match up against, don't rule out Philadelphia either, because Harden has done a selfish
Doc
job.
Rivers is their
He's
coach.
if he
James
doesn't get deer in the
Harden's
headlines,
playoff history.
this is a big if, but just looking at the players, Harden has done magnificent job with Joel Embiid and let it be
Yes.
Embiid's show. If Rivers can be, first title year, all that coach, you might see Philadelphia win it all. Not going to rule them out.
Okay, well, that's where we will have to part ways. Do you like that clip from the Brands World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brands World podcast right here on YouTube.